Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, a man back from injury. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
Wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. A first down throw for Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty deep...
And right away, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
319!
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And now out comes Minnesota. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
Kyle Rudolph had his second Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league, continues to improve as a blocker, is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
Cousins to throw it. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Blake Martinez tied for the league-leading tackles last year in his 2nd season out of Stanford, but I thought he improved his game overall. Not only does he tackle well against the run, but able to diagnose pass plays, get back into coverage, and make plays on the football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota 1st. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
2nd down, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Ty Montgomery and the offense getting set for their next drive. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. 23 yards on the play.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort.
In a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
On second down, Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just...
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. 1 quarter in the books. 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. So on, Packers bring pressure, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And Crosby puts it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And now the Packers get set to go. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down, Williams. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a third and about 5.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Sherrills to return it. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime and make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here's Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On third down, Cousins. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Ryan Quigley now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, It's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Rodgers. And incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
Cousins on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Kendall Wright, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Cousins. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On 2nd down, Cousins again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing, Cousins. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll throw again. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Cousins now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw, Cousins. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Carlson able to put this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
319! 258!
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And Graham's got it over the middle. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Crosby puts it through, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Delay of game, offense.
On a delay of game there, they could not get the playoff in time.
Still
frustrating for the head coach, frustrating for the offense. Sometimes you have to get the play call in a little bit quicker.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Following the penalty, it's Williams. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Now a second down throw for Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
A first down throw for Cousins. His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 more yards there and another first down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Ben Gideon in on the stop. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down. Rodgers now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good game, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Here's Jackson. Oh, and Nelson space to operate. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run it again with Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes, we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
They'll run it with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
319!
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing, and that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3, just get the ball right to the receiver.
It was the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step, like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
He'll get it to the 40. Sweet little move in there, but couldn't get much yardage out of it. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jamon Moore, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are back within a score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards on the play. What a difference a week makes. 5 interceptions in their last game. Here we are, fourth quarter. He's played mistake-free football.
And I'm sure that we can look back on the past week and say, okay, he spent time in the film room and they worked on his mechanics. Sometimes it's just your team believing in you, your coaching staff believing in you, and you relax and play to your potential. And he's doing that in this game.
They run it again with Cook. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd down, Cousins. And that's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Graham. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 39 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And again, it's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
319!
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Crosby puts it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. This is caught with a catch right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know one thing. The team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
In the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it and an opportunity missed. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage. How would you...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Here comes Sherrills. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick six. Cousin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The busy night continues for Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
319, 258.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Williams. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now Williams. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. One last shot now for Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.
You